All right, this is Daily Knowledge Project number 56. Decided to get my good friend and practice manager Brian on this one, so he's actually gonna get in here and get some info for us and ask me a question, and then I'm gonna answer it.
All right, so a lot of times in the gym, typical knowledge would say that you want to get into the gym and mobilize. So a lot of people will go in and they'll foam roll and they'll stretch and they'll do the cross balls and voodoo floss. And I know personally, whenever I would do those things, I would feel a lot more range of motion in whatever movement I was doing that day. So say I foam rolled my hips, voodoo flossed my knees, got my ankles loose, stretched out a lot before I worked out, and then had a heavy squat day. If my normal squat was going to take me to here and I was getting to there because I mobilized, it makes sense to me, and I don't have any formal education, but it makes sense that that extra range of motion would put more pressure on things that shouldn't be having pressure on them. Am I right in that line of thinking, or is that just like a misnomer, or what do you think?
Well, that's why I pay him the big bucks, because he's got good questions for that. This is a great question. This happens a lot, and it's very misunderstood. And I'm not a big fan of over-mobilization or voodoo floss or anything like that. What happens is, if you're having pain or you're having discomfort, it's your body's way of telling you that something's wrong. So a lot of those things, what they do is it's kind of plays a little bit of a trick on your brain and your mind. So you have two types of these things called receptors in your body. One thing is called mechanoreceptors. They sense vibration in movement. So basically anytime you move something, they get fired up. Well, they actually travel on the same pathway as pain. So if you ever jammed your finger in the door, the first thing you do is shake your hand out. You didn't fix anything. All you did was block that pain a little bit. So a lot of these over-mobilizations, voodoo floss, everything like that, what it does is actually gives you this false temporary window of improved mobility. But what you actually did was expose the joint more than it should. Like when Brian was demonstrating that squat, what he was doing there was showing that before that, that's his body's limit. It doesn't want to go any further than that. It's protecting that. But when you do all that extra mobilization before the workout, now you expose that. And when you expose that range of motion, you put more pressure on the disc, on the joint, everything like that. And you can actually put yourself in a worse place for an injury and set yourself up for bigger problems down the road. So mobilization that much before an exercise can actually cause a lot more problems, especially if you have an injury. So be wise about what you do, and also be wise about who you take advice from. So great question from Brian, and that's our Daily Knowledge Project for today. We'll see you guys tomorrow.